What up, YouTube? Welcome to the channel. I'm back with another video, man. Listen, before we dive into today's video, if you are watching for the first time, do me a favor. If you enjoy the content, if you get any value from this video or any other video that I have uploaded on my channel, definitely consider subscribing to the channel. And for all my supporters that's been rocking with me for all this time, I appreciate all your support. Now let's go ahead and get into it, man. It feels good to be back in the studio, man. But I ran across a video and I want to talk about it today, man. You guys know how I do, man. I like to, watch a few trucking videos every once in a while. If I'm being honest, most of the videos I watch have absolutely nothing to do with trucking, and I think I've talked about that in previous videos, but I rarely watch trucking videos, if I'm being honest. Obviously, with me being a truck driver, I do catch a few videos occasionally, and I do have some YouTubers that I support and respect, so I'm definitely gonna watch those videos just to give them the support so that they get the views. But other than that, man, I'm kind of like watching other content, to be honest with you. And it's a lot of, I don't know, I think part of the reason that I really don't watch too many trucking videos, or trucking channels I should say, is number one, I feel like there's a lot of negativity around trucking. So I try to stay away from as much negativity as possible. That's probably the main reason I don't. But then I guess outside of that, a lot of trucking content, it's the same type of content. So, I like mixing it up. There's no knock against the content creators that makes those type of videos, because I make those type of videos, right? I haven't made one in a while like that, but I have quite a few videos on my channel with the same concept. So don't get offended. Please don't get offended. But I want to talk about this, man. Shout out to the person who did this interview that I'm going to get into real quick. I just had to say that. But let's go ahead and get into it, man, because I want you guys' opinion on this as well. Owner operators, I know you're watching this video, so I want to hear from you, but I also want to hear from the company drivers as well, man. So let me go ahead and get into it. So shout out to the person who actually interviewed this person. She gave a lot of information about the business. So let's go ahead and listen to it, man, and see what she has to say.
So my name is Chris.
Okay, Chris.
Nice to meet you. How many years have you been trucking?
5.
5? How do you like it after 5 years?
It's been 35.
All you guys are in a team?
Yeah.
With your
So she's been trucking for 5 years, and her husband has been trucking for 35 years. All right. I'm not going to stop the video anymore. I'm going to go and let it play through, and then I'll come back towards the end with some commentary.
husband? Okay, sweet. If you don't mind me asking, how much can you make as a team?
As a team, well, we own our own truck. So we gross about $350 a year, about $350,000 a year gross.
So what's after expenses?
After fuel and insurance and all that, probably about 100.
100 between the two of you?
Between the two of us.
Okay,
Yeah,
do you
which
enjoy?
isn't good.
Between the three of you, I see. You have a doggy, right?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
What is the one thing about trucking in America that you would change if you had the power to? Something that really bothers you?
The fuel prices.
Fuel prices.
The fuel prices. It's killing us.
All right, man. So you guys heard her, and shout out to that couple, man. Shout out to the couple, owner operators, team drivers. You heard what she said. They're making $350,000 a year gross. And she said they're netting about $100,000 a year. That's after all expenses, maintenance, insurance, licensing fees, fuel, all that type of stuff, right? And it could be some other things that she didn't mention as far as the expenses. But the good part, they do own their own truck. So I think that's great. They're not, eating into the profits, making a lease payment. So I think that's phenomenal. But $100,000 a year. After listening to the video again, she did say, and I quote, which isn't good in terms of the money, after grossing $350,000 a year. Oof. To me, that's a pretty big difference, man. Wow. This is the question that I have for you guys, right? Company drivers. This is the question I have for you, company drivers. If this were you, and this is just all hypothetical, and this has nothing to do with the couple, right? Nothing to do with the couple. If this were you, same scenario, do you feel like making $100,000 net would be worth it to you in this type of scenario? Now, we don't have a lot of context to go on with this particular couple, and it's really not needed based on the question that I'm asking. But I just want to know from you, do you feel like it'd be worth it to net $100,000 after grossing $350,000 a year? All right. That's number one. Number two, owner operators, have a question for you. If you are an owner operator, does those numbers sound pretty spot on in today's market? These are team drivers, husband and wife, $350,000 a year gross, $100,000 net after all expenses. What does those numbers sound like to you? Is it pretty spot on? Do you feel like that's not enough? Or do you feel like, they're doing pretty good at those numbers in today's economy? One thing I did realize that she stressed was the fact that fuel was killing them. She kind of emphasized that. So I would assume that fuel is probably a large part of those expenses, right? Again, we don't know what all that really entails, but just based on her reaction and her response, fuel is probably eating up a lot of that profit. Do you think it's worth it? Aside from the money, let's talk about owner operator and the pros of being an owner operator and why so many truck drivers have aspirations on becoming an owner operator. If we look at the pros, right, I think the main pro is freedom and just having that independence to be able to kind of move how you want to move. You don't have to answer to anyone. You go to work when you want to, all that type of stuff. Now, with that being said, you still have to make money. So, you're still working. It's not like you can kick back and put your feet up and just relax the whole time. You still got to get out there and make money. So anybody that feels like, you just want to be an entrepreneur or owner operator and think it's going to be sweet, that's not the case, right? You still gotta work. Another thing I'm curious about, and owner operators, you can help me on this, but what about insurance? right? And I'm not talking about, insurance for vehicles, anything like that. I'm talking about health insurance. What's the cost of health insurance? Also, retirement. What do you guys do for retirement as an owner operator? Oh, that was one other thing that I wanted to talk about because I thought this was interesting. Let's go back to that video real quick. Let's go back to it. That was a comment. Here it is right here. This person says they could double their income making more as a company driver team. Let me know what you guys think about that. I thought that was very interesting, man. Which, I mean, if you look at it, it does make sense. Listen, if you're an owner operator out there, salute to each and every one of y'all, man. I really have a lot of respect for you guys, particularly you over the road drivers. If you a single man owner operator and you're the only one operating the truck, salute. If you're owner operator and you have multiple trucks, salute. That's major. I got a lot of respect for anybody out there that has a business and you took the leap of faith to get out there and do your own thing, man. I think that takes a lot of courage. I think that takes a lot of faith in yourself. And it's not easy. I actually was talking to an owner operator probably about a month ago now, and I'm not sure if I mentioned this on one of my previous videos. I can't remember, but I was at the hotel, just got done, with my route, getting ready to do my 10-hour reset for my layover, and there was a gentleman in the lobby waiting to get a room, and we just kind of sparked up a conversation, and he asked me if I was a truck driver because he seen a headset on top of my head, and he had a headset on as well. You guys already know if you're a truck driver, that's the number one indication on whether or not somebody's a truck driver. You're gonna have a headset on. Now, some of y'all wear them headsets everywhere. Come on, man, y'all gotta stop that. But I digress. The guy told me he had been broke down for, I think, about 3 or 4 days prior to that day, which was a Monday. And he said he was going to be at that hotel for another 4 or 5 days because he was waiting on a part to come in, right? So he broke down, and he said he had to tow his truck or get his truck towed down the street to a repair shop. And I can't remember how much he told me the tow bill was, but it was crazy. He said he literally only had to go about 5 minutes down the road, and the tow bill was crazy. And I can't remember what it was, but I want to say it was close to $1,000, man, for the tow bill. It may have been more than that. And then he was telling me about the part that he had to fix. I believe the AC went out, so he had to get a new AC compressor and some other stuff on there. He said that cost him $1,500. And then the other part that was on order, I can't remember how much he told me that was. Then he had to pay for the hotel rooms, right? The stays for that hotel average room rate is about $130 to $140 a night. So he was just telling me all the costs, and he was like, man, this is the part that a lot of people don't talk about when it comes to being an owner operator. He was like, man, it's good. He said, when it's good, it's good. But when it's bad, he said, bro, it's bad. But he was a cool dude, man. We just was chopping it up. But, being an owner operator, man, just from talking to owner operators, I have a cousin that's an owner operator. I've had him on the channel before a couple times, and just hearing some of the things that they have to go through, man. It's a tough endeavor. So I got a lot of respect for everybody that's the owner operator, man, and just really getting it out getting it out there on your own, right? And really, that's for any entrepreneur, man. Any entrepreneur. But look, you got to do what's best for you at the end of the day. You got to do what's best for you. You got to make the right decision, the best decision for you and your family, whatever that may be. For some people, that may mean getting out of the business, selling the equipment, getting a job as a company driver. That may be the answer to some people. To somebody else, it could mean, figuring out a way to cut costs in other areas in order to save the business. I don't know. You guys just gotta look at your situation and figure out the best move. I don't know, man. Y'all let me know in the comments what you think about this video. At the end of the day, like I said, you guys got to make the best decisions for you and your family. If you want to be an owner-operator, go for it, right? Don't worry about what nobody else has going on. If you hear somebody and they say they failed at it, if you still want to pursue it, go ahead and pursue it, man. Once again, this is what I always say. Just do your own research thoroughly. Do your own due diligence, man. Don't get out here and you're not well informed about the industry, about the market, and knowing your numbers, right? Just have the information. Don't come out here blind and want to do it all on your own without having no guidance, no good counsel, no direction, right? I think if you do that, you're setting yourself up for failure. So just be smart and make calculated decisions. Be strategic about your moves, and you should be fine. All right. That's all I got for you guys. Look, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.